Hi, everybody. My name is Melissa, and I will be your cosmic guide today. We're going to talk about the soul flame journey of the awakening, the ascension, the twin flames, the soulmates, the mirrored souls, the soul tribes, the star seed soul connections, and soulmates, and soul families, and the soul children today. I think I've been supposed to be talking about this for a long time, but I've either been blocked or working on my own self. Um, so I'm really honored to be here today to talk about those journeys and those layers of the new Earth, new era matrix that are coming together now in different ways than they have in the past, and anything that's been divinely ordained for you, for me, for them, for us, for all of us in different ways, in these different layers, will come to pass. And I am so excited because I am seeing so many breakthroughs in the different programs. So many of us were in different programs where we had soul connections or divinely destined, divine blueprints, divine plans, where we were supposed to have special missions and directions here. Some of us had some double missions, and some of us had some really hard, truly difficult, yucky, gross, heinous missions. And some had some beautiful, wonderful missions. Some of us had nourishing, good, beautiful, bright missions as we came out of the new agery, but we went into the new era. So there are a lot of breakthroughs going on, and I've always been able to see things energetically, and I've never really told anyone. Maybe I tried to tell 3 different people along the way. All the many years I've done this kind of work, about 30 years, but I've never really told anyone whether I actually think I have a twin flame or a soulmate or anything. It was just so people always just all kinds of different stories had projected different ideas for me. And so I watched, and it was kind of cool because, again, many of us had different purposes, and we're coming into the next part of our higher purposes and our soul contracts that we're always meant to be. And so, what I'm supposed to tell you today to start with is that you are irreplaceable and precious and important. And no matter what they've said, no matter what has happened to any of us, no matter what we look like or our jobs are or our, I don't know, favorite color is, just know that you are well known and loved beyond all comprehension. And it is time. It is your time. So the twins, the soulmates, the divinely ordained starseed connections are really coming together in a new way. This last shift as we came into 2022 energetically has been unbelievable. I don't think there are words for it. The last 2 or 3 years have been unbelievable to me energetically as well on these journeys, watching the different layers. And again, programs, different, some people would call them experiments, um, um, fulfill and go to the next step as we rise up in consciousness, and we come from that 5D instead of those lower 3 and 4Ds that we were stuck in for tens of thousands of years, just so long. It was just, whew, most of us, all the light workers, all the rainbow children, all the star seeds, the chosen, the divine, the earth angels, the empaths, the teachers, the ministers, the healers, of all different types and backgrounds and communities and mindsets. Those light beings have been through the most, and there have been different programs that we're on inside of our hearts and souls. We have purposes and passions and directions, and we couldn't always see all of it. That was sort of a little bit of a helping hand from the divine, from source, because in the end times, as I was on a reading the other day, and the lady kept saying This is the end times, right? We're in the end times. And someone else was mentioning on another reading about the generational curses in their family line. She's been working on that and talking about the generational patterns and curses in our DNA. And so I'm supposed to talk a little bit about in all of our soul family, soul tribes, directions we've been cleansing those generational, we can call them that, the shadow work. We've been doing the shadow work and cleansing the generational curses and patterns. And I want to just share a little bit because this concept usually makes us think of like my family line and maybe like a few, generations past where they, what patterns did they have? Did they have alcoholism? Did they have abuse? Did they have depression, oppression, lack mentality? Did they have? So we think in terms of generational patterning and curses as like sins of the fathers, what the some of the religious people would call that. But the truth is, we've been clearing, and we are here to cleanse and clear the earth, all of humanity, and all that has ever been from the beginning of time and back in our fallen Garden of Eden matrix, and a whole lot of other templates as well. So there has been designs, programs, vile, fallen, dark, evil stuff embedded, imprinted, attached, smashed in into our forms, our beings, our mind, body, spirit, soul forms, as well as the mind, body, spirit, soul forms of our soul families and our soul tribes. So it's not just one individual. And then there's other layers of each system that we are in on the planet. The systems like, imagine this, if we can look at systems like all of the roads that have ever been, the streets, the bridges, the roads, the highways that have ever been throughout humanity, all of the decades and all of the cultures and all of the religions and all of the things that have ever been, the styles that have always been. So, in different time periods, the belief systems, the mindsets were different, even the cadence and the languages were different. And so imagine all of those times being imprinted in every being that has ever lived on this planet to the beginning of time and back, especially in these templates that we're aware of, like Atlantis and our Garden of Eden, our Adamic lines. These lines, we got a whole many that we don't know. We've got Avalon, so that's like King Arthur, Merlin, Lemurian times. All of those, Lemuria is we've known this for a while, but Lemuria was the best of all, like the most peaceful. That's the one we are in our 5D we are residing in, so that we can create the new era templates and new earth matrices and hold them in stability and peace without bringing those lower dark energies in that we have lived through in the past. All of us have them. All of us have distortion in our forms. And imagine all the systems, all the medical systems and the belief systems and the political systems over in the many countries and the many ways and all the years. So those systems are we have to, this is our responsibility. That's why we're here. We have to cleanse and clear these systems in our own personal selves. That's the way we, that is the purpose and the focus. That's the way we do it. That's the way we begin to come out of the fog, almost like the fog that keeps us blinded and keeps us stuck in almost like in bondage in these the inverted upside down systems that we've been in for so long. So we're coming out of those. I'm seeing huge breakthroughs for all of the soul tribes. I mean, the soul tribes are connecting on ethereal levels as well as meeting in person. Like, we're recognizing the soul light, our Christed soul light in each other more than ever. And many of us, probably all of us, all of the light beings, all the divine beings, all the chosen, have been separated in severe ways from our true soul tribes, soul friends, soul families, and things like that. So, throughout all of our lifetimes. And now we're coming into a space where we're stepping in to alignment. This is where we can say all of our timelines are coming together. It's all the parallel universes are coming together in order in pure divine light. And I call it divine order. In fact, I have a tattoo on my back that says divine order on it, and wholeness and peace. So, so many of us inside have known whether we could actually verbalize it or not, or we were allowed to, because some of us were in very dark places on missions to walk through the valley of the of shadow of death for humanity, to bring back the fragmented pieces of all of history and all the systems, so we can come back out of the upside down, the inverted matrix, so we can come back into wholeness and bring that as above, so below. Unity consciousness, one, we are one, back into balance. So that is the justice of the universe. And so when we think about it, we can go, oh, we've been energetically surrounded and imprinted and violated badly by many generational curses on many levels and many layers. And again, this goes further than our human mind, or my human mind, can quite comprehend. It goes deep into the earth, to the actual minerals of the earth. There's generational darkness in some of the energies, frequencies of everything that ever was. And so the biblical stories where there are, the animals come 2 by 2 in the ark to cleanse as the earth is cleansed in the great flood. That is what is happening right now. I'm seeing so many breakthroughs. I can't even stand it. So there's a lot of the patternings and the things that were forced upon us, in us, wounded into us, our forms, the form of the planet, the form of each system that we live in, the very belief systems that we live in, as we're all changing paradigms. Some of those spell works and curses and inversions, the darkness that had been controlling all of it, as breaking free. So we call it the awakening, because each layer and each step, our eyes are opened a little bit, right? So in that, I would like to say the twin flame, the soul flame, soulmates, pardon me, journeys are not always about romance and like who's gonna have like the prettiest person or cash or whatever. And I know many of us, actually it was probably written, we allowed it to be written in the scripts of the end of times, like the lady was saying in a reading the other day, like the end of, she kept calling it the end of times. And it was allowed to be written in the scripts so that we could, with source, unplug and unstitch and undo and cleanse and clear, like the great flood, in every layer, some of these systems that were just holding on to us, that will not let us go. And so if you look at someone else and go, well, I think you should think this way and be this way, just know that you don't know. And that the distortion that's causing the chaos and the deceptions and the discomfort and the illness and the exhaustion around all of us, humanity, all layers, all cities, all countries, all people, are the undoing of the vile, the darkness, the entities, the energies, the programs, the programmed people, the puppets, the minions, the darkness, the revelations. So We are walking through this, and I'm seeing so many breakthroughs. It's so exciting. I'm going to pull a card to see if we have anything that can add to this. As I talk about the twin flame journey, there are many programs. So most of us are separated from our soul families, soul tribes. And that was done for protection in ways, sometimes as well as it's been blocked and interfered with real severely. So some of us don't know our true soulmates or twin flames in person yet. Some of us do, and we have been separate mostly. Some people have been able to come together, but there have been such dark targeting from the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. And it's been so hard for us to awaken. It's shocking and gross and horrifying. And so as we pull out of that fog, that suffering, that pain, as the gnashing of the teeth and the grasping at us, as we come out of the lower energies, all of us, all pieces of us, all fragments of us, we're seeing more easily our connections with our soulmates, our soul families and tribes, and different layers. We can recognize the souls, the light, the Christed energy, the ascended masters that stand before us, the earth angels in us. And sometimes just in the past that we were the ones that were persecuted and left behind. And so we were like, okay, well, we'll just wait for the right time. And it is the right time now for us to slowly stand up and come into balance in beautiful ways. There's an awakening and an illumination in all of our souls, and our spiritual gifts, our spiritual purposes are becoming more and more and more aligned and reconnected. That is our natural state of being. So if you are feeling your spiritual gifts, like your connection with source, with God, with knowing, your intuition, your psychic abilities, your tone. I always say tone. People don't quite understand what I mean when I say this. I've been saying tone frequencies for 30 years, and people are like, yeah, whatever. They think I mean one sound, and I mean the whole big symphony sound tone. And it could be tone in visual, mental, spiritual. All these things are being placed back online to their true divine spaces in each of us, and groupings and systems. So we'll continue to do this. We have more cleansing, great flood of humanity cleansing going on. But we are also breaking through and understanding and being connected again with our spiritual gifts, our true knowledge, the knowledge of all lifetimes, the knowledge of and understanding, healing, and going past the lack mentalities or the hunger, the pain, the suffering that has been embedded in humanity for so long. So different layers of these soul flame groups have had, each one of them have had different successes and celebrations lately. Some of the twin flames had the hardest, most severe, horrifying life experiences because they had missions to undo some of the darkest levels of that have ever been on humanity, in humanity. So they just came along to turn the lights on, sweep off the porch, turn the lights on, sweep off the porch, turn the lights on, sweep off the porch. And all of us, all human beings that have ever been, the paradigms, the archetypes, the roles are being shifted inside. And I think I'm just so delighted because when we use the words witchcraft, spellcraft, rituals, because I was, for my whole life since before I was born, put into a program that was ritual abuse oriented, dark souls, dark people, my hometown. Oh my God. In the last year since my mom died, I was hunted to set up over and over and over and over by hometown school people. And they thought they were going to kill me. So, and get rid of me so that they could have money and insurance and my gifts and talents. It was a program of people groups and places, territories is what I call them. Mine was one of the most severe. I know many of you have been through such severe stuff you might not even realize it all the way, but we have been targeted by such severe fallen darkness and energies and entities of the past. These are going to be the thing of the past. They never belonged with us in the first place. This is not, they're irrelevant. But there have been such celebrations in the heavens and the higher dimensions because the awakening has shown us that these types of things, like what I'm talking about, is like, I swear, like a Jeffrey Epstein and Jeffrey Dahmer grouping put together. They were harvesting souls, like the Bible has said, or different religions and backgrounds have shown. Different cultures show it in a different way or use different words. But these beings, we never came here to win or lose or defeat people or stomp on them or jump on them, but they did us. And so they are going to be removed from the ascending humanity. Slowly, we got more to go, but the Jeffrey Epstein groups that are all over the place in layers, that's some of the darkest programs that have ever been in humanity. And then where my background and my home origins and things, there are so many beautiful people, my friends, that I love so much, that I haven't been able to be around because of that program imprint that's been going on around them that they can't see. Handlers, scouts, hunters are being removed. So right in the middle of divine goodness is the darkest stuff that's ever been. Those things are being undone. So on this one, I like the Metatron Jubilance. Look at that, it's like 4th of July. Ding, ding. So this is the light language around the card. These are the inspirational oracle cards that I like. And this is Archangel Metatron, who is also reminding us right now that we are all ascending together. So the hierarchy of that we know, that we can comprehend, that we can understand, the angelic teams, they are also ascending with us. So because they came, they were here to watch after us, babysit us as we were going through these experiments in the lower energies. So Archangel Metatron is saying that these structures around us, the grids, the light, universe, source grids that are not tainted, that are not fallen, that's what we are learning how to stabilize in. And that's how we cleanse and clear and go through the great flood in ourselves, as well as in our tribes and family lines and units. And when we say the royal family lines, we don't mean that we're better or richer or poorer than anyone. It's the benevolent, true archetype of royalty, not the diva royalty. It's the true lines of God, the true image of God that we're saying, that those lines. And I think the Bible, part of the Old Testament, tried to tell some of it. So there's the Quran, there's all these different layers that we couldn't quite get to the full truth in. But those codes were being coded and uplifted and connected back with our natural connections that we were always meant to have. That's what we were created for. So humanity and all these layers of twin flames and soul flames and starseed soul flames and things like that. So good. I'm seeing cool people come together. People that it seems like it was just way too far gone, that they could never connect. And the soul children, not everyone needs to have a child born out of them, but there's soul children being born to really dark souls that are ours. And there are children we've been talking about this for almost 8, 9, 10 years, rebirth. So it might not be an actual child, physical child, human child, but it could be ideas and beliefs and new directions, businesses, connections, homes, purposes. So you could have a purpose with someone else that is like your child birthed, business with someone else's birthed, And so we've all been working on that, and it's all been corrupted and polluted and things like that. And we're coming back online to those things. Um, Remember, if you are in a soul flame connection, divinely orchestrated soul connection, divinely ordained, this is your soul script written by God and you. Um, there will be people, or there have been people, that do not want you together. They smile at you and love you. They do not want you to be together. You're already enough of a handful of light workers, like earth angels, loved ones, rainbow children, crystalline children, indigos, teachers, loved ones, healers, all of you. I'm so sorry when I'm all the words, the descriptions. It just goes further than that. The empaths. I mean, I want to keep going. The ground crew. I want to keep going, but it's ridiculous because you know who I'm talking about if you're in any of these groupings. I thank you for being you, but just remember, if someone hates it, that you have soul family, soul tribes, and want to taint that and hurt you, ruin your reputation, try to ruin your health, trying to harm you, or like I was saying, like some of the programs from my home origins places. Wow, I waited for in different time periods of my life. I waited for arrests to be made because I was like, oh, this is blatant and obvious. This is so I didn't really care about the lying, cheating, betraying, because that was like, it's just who those people are. But I thought the actual blatant crimes that are that have um, damaged human lives and souls and their finances and killed people, murdered people on purpose for fun, for cash, for sport. I thought those would be sort of reconciled, like they would be rectified, and they don't seem to ever be. So I don't know what the divine has in plans for the like the Epsteins or the Hannibal Lecters type people or the narcissists, but we're out of it. We don't have to look anymore at those things, and our justice systems and our the way we live, our systems in our mind systems, our connections in our society and communities, the misuses of power, they're on their way out. We get to rebuild and rewrite the scripts for humanity. So congratulations, twins, soul flames, star seeds, chosen. You'll start awakening in these next months to like, yeah, I do know what I want and what I'm here for. And thank you for being on some of the hardest missions ever conceived in humanity, the history of humans. Thank you for walking your walk and being yourself and holding that light, even when they pointed to you and gaslit you and said you didn't. Thank you for holding your honor and dignity and love towards others. And you are irreplaceable and so loved. Some of you get to like open up your eyes as your heart opens up more and more to find your true mates, your matches, your true matches, your true twins. And some of you get to reconcile with the ones that were just seem like it could never come together. And some of you will get to find the ones that you were like, I know someone's out there. Is there anybody out there? Yeah, there is. And I'm watching these soul contracts or these divinely orchestrated and ordained blueprints start to unfold for people in the physical and the physical realm. And so congratulations. I'm just so excited for every single one of you. I honor every single one of you, even if your reputation has been tainted or they didn't like you. Just remember, some of this could happen again, and people don't want you together with your true twin or your true soulmate, because you're truly, like I was trying to say earlier, like you're a handful by yourself. Your light upsets people. And imagine what it is with two of you together. So thank you for being on your God path, your divine path, and just always, every day, all day, breathing in the light of Christ, God, um, um, and walking your walk. Thank you. Jubilance. We got jubilance. The universe has jubilance for you, and will hold you and nourish you in that jubilance. Okay, I'm going to do a twin flame soul flame soulmate reading here in a little bit. I just wanted to do one part first, and I was out on the out in the sunshine today, and I was gonna do some videos, in the car in the sunshine and the beauty and the groovy vibes, but I had to run home, which is also in the groovy vibes and beauty and stuff. So, but I had to run home. So we'll do a reading for the soul divine counterparts next. Thank you all so much. Thank you for your true love and support and connection for me all these years. Thank you.